right. I've heard there's a lot of ideas.
That's how perfect example. That movie had a message. It was a good.
It is better than VHS because
that movie was out of comic film form. Yeah, for sure. Because that's going around as much. He didn't even he tried. I think he thinks he had a message. I don't know what it was. Like the message was like, you spent too much time on YouTube, I guess. Oh no.
Is that the guy that says scary?
I don't know. It's like for me,
I think that's probably true.
Watching this guy string together bits that have nothing to do with
the size of the Neanderthal skull.
This is that. Oh, and then by the way, I forgot about my sweater.
With their eyeballs,
Like cubes. I was on TikTok, and everybody was TikTok, which reminds me of Zoom calls. Yes. Remember Zoom calls? Like everybody hated that, right? What year is this? I will say that he's on one of your best ones all the time.
But the eyes,
something about the monkey thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's a big word for it. It fits me more than you, but I think you get better.
There's physical
What you said, you do the bit for the people. I want you to know why I said that. By the way, I brought up all the monkeys. And I'm not sure where he is. He's in this room somewhere. Be careful. I mean, that's different. The beginning is what we said, but I also think there's a little bit of specifically in the beginning of Wild Monkeys.
But still kind of fucked up, and that's
what I figured out. We're together. We're sort of just like it started with saying that, like, hey guys, don't freak out or anything, but I did bring them up. Like, I think that I was there with somebody that was like, I'm curious. You have to be clear. You have to be very clear that you cannot literal monkeys. I'm like, I don't know how you do it. Don't. Yeah, obviously, I think you're saying.
Curiosity and ambition.
But then the bit turned into me, the joke becoming that I pointed. If you the monkeys will walk over something and do some jokes just for the
but I thought it was completely made up. It was just contrails. No,
you didn't try this, I did. You did try
there's a real reality of jet engines.
See, that's what I'm saying. It's one of those things where if nobody laughs, it's kind of funny to train again.
Yes,
It could be funny to train again because sometimes, you try it, it's bad, it's funny,
that's what I thought
but
that's
but if you do that every time, no one laughs the first time, and then it makes laugh so time, it's going to really hard for the second time it doesn't. It's making like third time. Stack that over, okay? I don't know. I mean, that could also just be me and you are ridiculous.
Wait, I think we have a tweet for weather weapons.
It's not
agree not to use weather weapons. Making it rain, how weather manipulation and geoengineering of fueling.
Because I could just really, you transition into another joke and then randomly go.
It fucked up.
And then you go, sorry, so just trying to get the money back into it.
They're not set up for that kind
It's
of
all about my friend. The best part is that.
like some kind of Charlie and Chocolate Factory with the crazy prince like the chocolate house. It's like that. Charlie has all the money in the world.
Yeah, well, how did that come up? Because somebody in the special was like, that's ridiculously.
They're so rich.
So it just has a cage monkey.
Distinguish yourself from other people, you have to have the lowest license
They're Adam Conrad.
Yeah, you want that because everybody has all the other crap. So how do you distinguish? That's how you live.
I have that kind of absurd style sense of humor sometimes. I've always wanted to go on stage and say something along the lines of like, clap if you have COVID.
So these guys,
Or
they
something
all
like that. Just like a ridiculous that you can't do. Just similar to the monkey thing. Yeah, I sometimes do that with
so they have like some sort of a diplomatic
I think that's fun. Like, all right, so on a scale of 1 to 10, if I had COVID right now, just to fuck with people.
Like having drag races
I did ask a lady that came over.
Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
Have you
seen it?
Sure.
No, one of them.
I was like,
Cars like smoking, over into the driveway. Everyone's filming, all the neighbors are filming. And then the guy just gets on a plane and gets out of the country. Yeah,
she's not
jets before they get caught.
So I'm gonna say she's nice. I'm like,
Some weird diplomatic. So that's what I'm saying.
What she did was she came out and she said, "Did you recently?" I said, "No."
One stoplight, race down the street.
Jay, you have a rating? No. You didn't get a she's like, I don't want to sound judgmental, but it's very good. Sounds like it.
At least 2 times.
Give me what you got. And she's like, no, let's not do this. Let's do the next 3 hours. Rated. Did you not know that it was bad? It was a topic of conversation to begin with. Okay. She never came in the restroom before.
But anyway,
so like this time, she was like,
newspaper at the
she's like, I
time,
gotta
when
like, it was like the day of the news. She's like,
arrested because of that.
because she sees in here and she's like, Jesus
I don't know,
Christ.
people that come for a lot of money, they think they should have like,
Yeah, dude, if she thinks this is
when
bad,
they
she
learn
should say,
Aristotelian philosophy, learn that some people are like, some people are and did you hear that, guys? Did you hear Braddock where he goes, do you have to be sacrificed to the many?
Yeah, that we've talked about that. I mean, you lost your fucking booze, man. You used to come in here creepy fucking
Sounds like things I would recite to you in church that are drunk in my head.
fucked up. Why did you stack up in the rest of your life? The girl comes over, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to make you feel shit.
So I don't even like,
We either try to movie chair.
But that wasn't the case with me. I definitely felt how they would do.
Let's just watch TV in my room.
But I already went through a thing of like,
It's
this
like
one
waits
thing
on
like,
my room. It's like a no shirt, no pants thing.
I don't give a fuck about it.
It's like, you don't have to do it. It's like,
I don't care if everybody's mad at me. I don't care if
working
somebody
on. If you would just respect my religion and come to my room.
come on and do anything I say.
You can come in my room.
Do I like that guy? I never
It's a
would
thing.
do that.
Let's just have sex. Why would we sit out here and watch TV where we can have sex?
And not because I got paid to be
We're
wrong.
gonna die.
I'm back to 100. I got
And you're right, dude, because this lady has not interfered. She's only been.
So where were we?
Dude, fuck you up, dude.
Remember
You like this couch is my one battle after another. I sink into this motherfucker. It's great for sound, but this shit is like. If there wasn't a podcast going on, like, hell yeah, dude, this fucking hugs me. How fast, dude? Faster than Peter Dinklage's Tiger Race. Abu Dhabi. Faster than fucking Sydney Sweetie's Abu Dhabi movie, baby. Dude, Schultz sucks so much ass. I saw him recently. He had another take on something. I'm trying to remember what it was. Oh, I think it might have been Riyadh or something or other, but he just went right.
Great job, everyone.
Hit the keyboard, Yeah. Shit. I should have sent you the picture. Oh my god. Because there's like a dude, why are you looking? There's like a dude on Twitter named Chief Nerd that just reposts trash over and over again. Schultz stuff. There's a few of these people that just post Schultz's horrifying takes.
I remember the day where I was like,
Is this the one? Yes, this is the one in the Bad Bunny. That's the one about Bad Bunny Super Bowl.
Hello, everybody. This week it was announced that global sensation Spotify's #1 artist, Kendall Jenner.
There are some things I watched the beginning of this. There are some things in this one that I flat out don't understand the connection between the joke and what he's saying. So I'll point them out as well.
all of them were
Rise Club to know it, Duolingo, darling, Bad Bunny will be
It's just like
it's oh, yes. How do you know what the notes are?
Prize
Oh, you did a story
Platinum.
on it, and I was like,
Duolingo,
you don't have the best
something.
No. We were doing things like we didn't play a lot of
Platinum is like
there's certain videos that they will
You
not
ever
show.
have the style
Those
where those are creepy. That shit is fucking good. Dude, that is better than fucking Duolingo, darling, dungarees. The Himalayan, right? I want to go to like a restaurant, a Mexican restaurant, and say, I want a salt. They go, oh, okay, for sure, some pretty good.
And they changed it. Yeah, Russia has, it's not the same as like a NATO
Have you ever
war,
had
but
that?
they have signed a thing with China and
The
Iran.
sounds are great. Yes.
Yeah, so
That's the best way to do it. I don't know why they all don't do it like that.
by this Ukraine thing that's,
It's like,
I guess
whoa,
the minerals already.
these are good. Where's the crate? Come on, I gotta have crate with this now. Now that I've added, they don't really do much of it.
So people go on the road, that like they rush into it. Somebody wants World War III real bad.
What's that? Strawberries.
Whoa,
I really like strawberries.
I can't wait.
Yeah, I would try it. Because I say I like strawberries. I'll fuck my way
I'm
over
gonna tell you,
to
I'm just saying,
How bizarre is it that you're kind of right?
all the Peruvian spots give you Platanos with like nothing else on it. But the Mexican spots.
Jenner's
prize Plátano and Duolingo dog Bad Bunny will be headlining the Super Bowl after the show, making him the first Puerto Rican patriot to perform in the Super Bowl. Puerto Rican patriot. Oh, that's not a gang-banging Boston booty boy. Now, for those gang-banging Boston booty boy. This is old, like 1920 shit. I'm telling you, this mustache works with it too. I just don't understand the appeal. I don't know who wants this, but obviously it's a very stupid crowd. I mean, not obviously, maybe it's a very stupid crowd. They love this kind of night. He looks like the guy who kidnaps your girlfriend or wife and ties her to the railroad tracks. He's got that 1912. I got your girlfriend tied to the tracks, and the train's gonna hit her harder than fucking Stephen Hawking's hiking boots. I don't get it. I don't know why nobody in the circle of game theory is like, I like this makes you mad. Yeah, but
So where do furries come from?
at the end of the day,
I think that
it's so
part of it.
I think so, you know. Right now, he's kind of like Charlie Sheen on the stage.
Genetically engineering these boys who would like to be a person.
If you don't know that, Bunny is the world's largest Latin trap artist, followed closely by Ice. Literally, surely, with the last few weeks we've had in America, the keyboard culture warriors will be too exhausted from politicizing everything from five mass shootings to the logo change to a highlight restaurant to forcefully insert politics into the Super Bowl halftime show. Right? No, Rocky Star cultural commentator, lesbian kickball coach, and my hair donor for the Street Fighter movie said, "This isn't about music, it's about putting a guy on stage that hates Trump and MAGA." Now, to be fair to this Leah Thomas the Boo Boo doll, it is odd to choose an artist who doesn't have his Leah Thomas the Boo Boo doll. I mean, I think that what he's doing is TikTok format. It has to be a certain. I bet he goes, all right, figured out the algorithm. It's 24 seconds, right? And then you ride 3 times, okay? And then at the end, the bag has been scooped. So it's a YouTube thing. Beautiful bag is scooped. Take TikTok to YouTube to make the video. And it's some sort of weird format. You rhyme 3 times with a cultural topic or whatever. And every time you notice has alliteration, some form of somebody, maybe they're trans, a little person in a wheelchair of some kind, or a person of color. And then they rhyme somehow. Elliot Page's penis pump. And like stuff like that. Yes, I did write that. But I don't think it's funny. I'm trying to be bad. It was hard to think of these on the way over here.
So this was like 4 hours.
Jordan Jensen Shinko jeans.
German cities of
Country whose language outside of Dearborn, Michigan is English. I'm kidding. Dearborn, I'll see you guys next week. That's real. Anyway, a couple months ago, this handsome guy with questionable sperm motility said, Bad Bunny's the biggest artist in the world, right? He can't do the Super Bowl. Now, for the record, I also said Netflix will be dead, and now it's the world's biggest streamer, so in a lot of ways, I probably spoke this into existence, and that's why they call me Nostradamus. You're welcome, Puerto Rico. I know I said that. My thinking was, it's the NFL halftime booker's job to create a show that appeals to as many NFL fans as possible. That makes sense, right? For example, if someone was putting on a show for Ben Shapiro and his company, they would hire a choir of Palestinian toddlers being crushed by a hospital bombing, or as Ben calls it, porn. But after Mr. Money was chosen, I asked myself, what really is the goal of the Super Bowl halftime show? Is it to entertain the fans? Sure. Is it to sell AirPods? Absolutely. Or is it being used to extend the reach of the NFL? Is an example of someone they like to have as their fan. The NFL wants to be a global brand. They have games in London so they can reach a larger global audience. They have games in Mexico so the Raiders fans will report themselves. They have games in Brazil now that Tom Brady's retired. They've seen the success of the NBA abroad and the international dominance of soccer. People with free healthcare and missing teeth called football. So maybe they're hiring a musical act that's a massive global success.
And I'm not seeing the results I should see. Not blaming any one person, but a lot of promises made, promises kept to not everyone here, but whoever you promised to you, I don't know what the fuck that is.
I think there should be. He should have said something about teeth.
Of course they are.
Because he had the guy who said healthcare with no teeth. Adults have pretty much toddler teeth. There you go. Where you left toddler teeth on the table. You followed the bear. That was right there, and that's
One of the problems.
there's levels to this shit. I'm working hard with the LA pages. Just
That's why
yeah.
people are looking at like, oh, this is
on the scale, I guess, harder to be LA pages being as border Peter English is not your age.
like, I wonder what
These are all things that
there's a difference between someone that has an opinion and people that protest organically because they all agree on this opinion versus somebody who's organized. A lot of people are spending money on it, they're organizing it, they're figuring out how to get. Like, yeah, the bus one, the Tesla one. Have you seen the list? Have you seen the list?
Football fans in the hopes that those non-football fans to the halftime show, watch a little bit of the game, and then one day, years later, their kids can get CTE too. Maybe, just maybe, not everything is about fuck Trump or triggering limbs. Chances are American Eagle just wants to sell jeans. Occam's razor says the simplest explanation is usually the right one. Well, this is America, baby, and our razor says you follow the money, and you could probably buy that razor after Sydney's winning his system.
everybody's, you can't resist. Every once in a while, you gotta do it.
Screaming protest for something they're not organic, going to scream and protest for. Like, that's a different thing than just protest.
You know, if it's one of these stupid Schultz clips, there's gonna be something about City Sweden, right?
Dumbass,
She's got something about City Sweden.
a lot of these guys be caught in cars.
Yeah, she has boobs. That's half.
Exactly, but there's a chance.
Part of the people that watch that consume this and Barstool, they think it's funny. They're so stupid that they think it's funny, but they also
set up in
maybe the
advance.
people that watch John Oliver are just kind of
This is
high
kind
and
of a
drunk.
big deal that someone would hand these out to people and
Oh, and another thing about
and pay them to
you're saying high and drunk, but then the Barstool Andrew
well,
Schultz fan
said that
is
they
stupid
don't
high and
offer
drunk. So
money
they
to go to these. I wouldn't even know evidence of it. You know, she was unelected and can't fucking ads on it.
That's a
You're
lot of
not
stuff.
doing that for
The biggest
free.
titties in
Did
the
you
world
see
are
the video of the people all eating it? They left the
titties
protest
and toothies.
Yo, yeah. I find that too.
They're like,
But that was
yeah,
one of the things that this is evidence.
I can think of
People
one.
being paid for a certain amount of time. But that's not illegal. That's what's great.
You know, I agree. And that's the guys from the team. Fuck you, man. I mean, try to watch that John Oliver shit. Like this week tonight or whatever. It made me laugh because he's pretty shit.
The government will come out and so, for example, guy who wrote War is a Racket. When the veterans, when the veterans got crushed by tanks. It's great if you do that. By the way, that's fake. That people think the guy who went, he didn't. But he did that to veterans in America.
Well, it's not fake. He got both sides. The images of him in front of the head.
But the way they I thought that when until I realized like the time we had fucking state lines, I filled in the rest of the story in my head. Oh, he must have what I'm doing. No, you just saying that. It's like it's like for news advertising.
Right. But there's also people who are very afraid to criticize and always show one factor in both in the sense of their life.
You could have a legit protest with coordinator. I'm like, it's not like the quicker you have your talking points, like a think tank maybe.
So much more reality show. You just get professional protesters asking about their life, just like QAnon that were on HBO. Just people that follow professional protesters around their life. Professional protesters and professional rallies.
I think Bill Burr make a great. This is war criminal, Nazi from the what are you talking about? We support the we went to the moon because of Nazis.
Thanks
We
for
brought
tuning in. As
to
always,
America.
join the Patreon.
What are you
Join
assholes
the
talking
Reddit.
about?
Join the Discord.
Audis,
This
all the
week,
companies are Nazi
the
companies.
Patreon. Are you
Like everybody's like they get you focused on some stupid shit. Do you think this
not
like
a camera?
man?
Because
You know how easy it is to make that gesture, just a gesture?
Yeah, guy.
That's why
I
there's
can't
videos
nail
of
it
everybody
every
else doing it.
case. We do it
It's
in
the
one
original
take.
pledge to the flag, by the way.
You should agree to
No,
the
it's
tackle.
not, but the original flag.
I usually get it right. Okay, this is the first time it's ever happened. I've
It
never
wasn't
been
until World War II it changed.
that dude.
Well, first of all, shout out to policy. We'll get some of the
People
time.
find into it. It's great to see that classroom.
Appreciate it. Where's T-Bus? It's happening right now. If you give money, I will try to bring up T-Bus while we're doing T-Bus. Bring up T-Bus while we're doing T-Bus. And there's no money. But anyway, speaking of money, on the Patreon,
Like that song that we just showed, it was from the Patreon. The Patreon song that April 16th.
hell yeah. Oh, I forgot. Yeah. So if you're on the Patreon, obviously you must have it. So you know, kind of fucked up. Everything.
Yo, what up? How you doing now?
Hope you guys enjoyed the song. Super stuff like that. Last week, or this week,
But they put
was
God in
Ralph Morbosa.
communists.
Yes.
Playing it as Bosa. I thought that was really good.
One nation under
Oh,
God.
you let me play this Bosa, dude. Oh, playing
We didn't say what God.
One
We said
side of this under God.
That's great.
When did they add that? That's a
But anyway,
Transit Kennedy has a question that maybe you can answer.
What by Freemasons?
we're over to that.
It's
You
not a
guys did
Satanist.
mark back on. Oh, yeah.
It's not a Satanist.
Cow.
It's
You
just
remind
like
me
a
every
hot topic.
We gotta start plugging this. every time we
use
talk.
our bodies to
September 20th, we're doing a live 24-hour stream on Super Buddies.
Yes, that's Luciferianism. Yes, Wolverine. Superman is a punk ass bitch, and I guess the way
Thank you. Appreciate you
but
playing
like Hillary Clinton, she was their big reporter had a communicated too. So yeah, some people are dead and shut up. That's a conspiracy. That America wants Luciferianism, whether you use the back, doesn't matter what you think.
It took me so long to figure out that
I don't fucking Christian unless you act like one. You know what I mean? Like I would never call myself a Christian, but sometimes I will act Christian.
Back to that's not why they're here, though. They're
So I'm
here.
not gonna
September 20th.
that I'm not living up to.
24-hour live stream.
It ain't Bible God. I don't know how
Check this out. Hopefully, Brandon Wall, Summer Oracle, the IDM guys.
Oh, they're like from what Jesus said.
We're looking at
Oh, like Jesus said. It's okay. If everybody stops
yeah. Anyways, this is how
Listen,
pause for the super chats. That's not why they're here. So we gotta fucking get into it. So it's the timer open.
I'll tell you what.
No, I gotta turn it on. They're here to watch segments of show. So start the timer. Watch for more super chats.
You seen that?
Start the timer. Play the jingle. Alrighty, Mexican cookies away we go here. By the way, only 18 likes. We're not going to get started with that, but what's going on? I've got, let's go to the top of this month. And you probably already saw that one last week. Yeah. Is that technical? This one's posted by Rising24. I'm missing so much, bro. Is there anything?
A little bit removed.
What is he holding? Forced to operate the drone. He said like that one thing, he turned it on, and then he's like,
watching the pattern, kids, fucking press a button and launch missiles.
Yeah,
Watch that.
I must have forgot. Do you miss him? Or do you like him?
Well, you know how we know 90% innocent people got killed? I know I said that.
Yeah, because I worry
that guy's in prison for revealing the
it's
truth
really
about
funny. It's not like an old man talking on the
There's a
phone.
guy
Yeah.
in prison for
Well, I do wake
like
up
3 years ago, the guy's speech about I watched
older
people
than me, but he makes me
yeah,
feel like an elder
the
statesman.
drone operators that got put away into that got Trump's abusing it now. Mama loves to abuse it.
So, the Jack.
That's what they grab these people with no charges and they take them out because they
Now you
supported Hamas
watch
for
it and for so much content, right?
espionage act. They're doing shit like that. So talking
I'm
about
watching every week, and I start to feel like some sort of
we sold all those
relationship
people.
with them.
Worse than terrorists. We're worse. 90% civilians.
No, you're right.
That's
I
not
just saw that
collateral.
comment.
That's who you kill.
on his
The
mic.
collateral would be if you hit a fucking terrorist.
I just
That's real. That happened. And the guy's in prison for telling us. Now, don't call them like the one the ones that thinks there's not Nazis. Even though, wait, they kill like Nazis, don't they? Again, Bill's right about a lot of things, but that was just such like a, you don't know what, just look,
I do
like,
miss those
there's
days
a
though.
lot
I
more.
think I
You're
miss
focusing on the
the actual thought that he put
there's a
together.
narrative
What
that
it
gets
was
out
like
there.
we saw it on film. You know?
But it's
Yeah, he wasn't thinking even harder. Yeah, like was it, there's like a
want to talk about
even
whatever
more
Ukraine or Israel and Palestine, like we need a lot of time.
This is real.
Long history. Yeah, oh, Daniel Hale,
12 hours ago, it's shooting to the top of the charts for a
former
month.
national security chief intelligence officer, classified information
I'm
about
on
drone warfare
somewhere,
to the press.
so I don't
Hale
feel
served the United States military, United States Air Force, 2009.
you saw my sick bars,
Okay,
so
guilty
how are your
to
team doing? You guys
return
are pretty
to
good.
national
I
defense
just got some
information
time from the
sentenced to
standing
45
bench.
months in prison.
I just filmed that like 2 hours ago. Let's see here. Rewind
Was
it. This is
released from
real.
July 5th,
Post my coin toss. I've
2024.
seen
They're
this
not going to investigate how it's not to it. So he's out there right
a bunch of
now. He's
random
out
things
there
we
right
had
now.
shot. Well, he must have
You know,
forgotten.
what if he was allowed to do that?
Growing
grazed
Well,
in.
the guy who ran the podcast
Growing grazed with 3 Gs.
John Sayaki does
Right.
Yeah,
But no, remember he did that.
probably doesn't want dogs.
I'm assuming these things takes forever. It takes forever. It takes forever.
Right? If you talk about it now, isn't that the
Like,
same
no
thing?
marketing.
You're doing it all over again.
Especially when you're a genius, you want to make sure
Now that it's out, it doesn't
perfect.
matter,
Right.
right?
So he was doing it just for men.
If
Way
you get
back
tried,
then.
if you get tried, you're in jail for something.
He's so far in the future. He's Australian. That's so hard. He's fucking got
The last thing you want to do is talk
You know,
about it.
so look what does he do? You look it up, and he's got blonde hair.
I don't know.
It's like he didn't trust the medium brown. By the way, that's the
When this is he owes money for them transporting him.
big brown breakdown.
It's sucks.
Oh, that's false advertising.
Look, I know people want to believe in their stuff, but why? Why do you believe in what you get?
But
It's like
again, that's funny. These things they gotta put in the
Takes
course.
up his
Doesn't
life. He thinks
pay
nothing
attention
happened
to
this
that.
day.
Fucking, what did he do to the
Yeah,
CEO of
she does the God, he stays upstairs and
CBD
helps those boys because they speak in freedom.
Yeah,
That's America.
He's doing
And
the
then
same
people
thing
you
to
don't
this,
speak to.
unfortunately.
It's crazy. It's not knowing the truth. It's
But
when
it's
you
cool
tell
that they give
people
a shout out here. You know,
and
it
they
says
either
medium brown.
don't want to know it or they go, I just want to keep my head down and do my job, which friends of mine that are not dumb, smart people say. Yeah, that's the American
I
spirit.
think that it's funny that this picture
And do my job. I'm saying, oh, I can't wait to say hi to the flag man. Oh, how inspiring.
shows.
That's
I wonder what
change.
Chubb
Change.
has in a
A lot of
photo.
people think
They
like
didn't
that.
get an entertainment of that.
For sure. I mean, look at that smile. How hard do you think the photographer was trying to make him
I
smile?
understand that. Barely stand above water right now as it is.
Or just
Wouldn't
make
you
it like, no,
You
serious
want the kids to
things.
see it, you're not going to knuckle under and say, I'm not having space. You get scared.
How many did he
You're
go
like
like
a
that?
work party roll. Yeah. No, I
Like,
know.
we don't need you to,
That's
like,
what happens. You
move
need
your mouth at all. Or please take your hands. At least take the straw.
It's famine.
Like
The
just
same
saying,
reason why people want all the attention.
Get some rewind.
People want, yeah, they want
Get rid of
everything. They
my
want to be
grades.
number one.
You got grades. A lot of grades.
Family. Well, those what he's talking about.
We already saw that one. This
Expensive
one's,
ways to figure out
this one's
exactly
hilarious.
what's
I already
best
read
to
it.
get what reaction.
It's posted
They
by
need
Google
people
Blogger.
to pretend
DoorDash driver says
that
Baca's is
Tesla-
cheap and a fraud.
he was
Let me
unelected.
just,
You don't elect the guy that does that picture. It's
stop me
unelected.
if you
Is
want
that
to
the
stop me.
point?
Okay. I'm
Yeah,
glad
I'm
British
pointing.
shop special
Just
suck.
like,
Fuck that.
you know how Kamala was unelected?
Siphoning me on a tip I'll never forget. True story. I was trying to earn a few extra bucks just to see your DoorDash.
I
DoorDash.
I understand
Hard times and had to resort to gig work. In the rain, I picked up an order for ice cream and
There's
visit
just a
to
lot
Santa Monica to a nice house
There's a
with
lot
view
about
car.
what he's uncovering.
The order is to a tiny guest house way in the back. The sign on the door says, "Do not knock, baby."
And you should know that the savings are not going to contribute working. It was organized too often.
It sounds like
It's too
Brendan's right.
regular. There's people that are above their arms. Chance that they hand out. Someone's paying money for this stuff. Whether they're paying those people or not, I think they are. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. You're the soda people, right? The point is, like, it's organized. It's not natural. You just saw the. This is amazing. It is story. I said to you, this is soda. I don't know. Americans or whatever it's called. So they got MAGA people, and I see people apologizing up.
There was a nice Toyota parked in
They
front
got,
of his guest house.
maybe they did it willingly or not. I mean, willingly, but duped or not, they were like, this is embarrassing because, like I said, to the Connecticut Canada people, not that I'm that, I don't vote. I would have Trump did anything to I thought he would. Use their snap,
I
their
don't
welfare
understand
to
that.
buy
That's
soda.
what I
They're like,
come
don't
to
say that you can't buy soda because all okay. You know, there's an association.
He's living in a guest house? I get, I get that it's
That's
bad.
adorable.
It's a tip.
American Heart Association fought for his
But
So, but you remember when these same stupid fucking conservatives were mad that they were spending their welfare on lobster? Remember that? They're buying lobster with welfare.
not my life.
This old, well, maybe
I,
they
a door guy told me that he gave
they
him
get
money
their Cadillac and buys
once.
lobster
So
with
that's what
welfare.
they hear. ABTR 16 follows up with this year. I
Well,
don't know if
it's
this is real or not, but I've seen it with my own eyes.
and
He's
then
100%
after
a
that,
cheap
I would hear
cunt.
this come up.
You
This
wouldn't
was
think
years
that.
ago.
Okay.
There's something about that. It's always
I
like,
told the story before.
oh yeah,
but
that's
I
where
think
we're
some
losing all our
other stuff
money on
was
welfare.
I used to
We
work at
are,
LA
not
Comedy
for
Club
this
years
country
ago.
though. Just so you
At
know.
first, I thought years ago he was the comedy club name.
But how about that?
But now,
MMA wasn't as mainstream at the
you
time,
realize
so it was
when
kind of behind the road to a coworker. One of the servers comes up to me and goes, "Hey, the fighter's here to see the show. Joe Rogan and French show."
used 8
I'm like, "Get
names,
the fuck
30
out."
addresses, 15
He says, "I don't know,
telephone
he's huge," and they say he
Social
has
Security,
famous about the
veterans
podcast.
benefits
I was
for non-existent deceased veterans. welfare or tax-free income alone is running $150,000 a year. This lady's pretty cool. Reagan's story turned out to be a gross exaggeration of a minor case of welfare fraud. I don't want to believe that she created off. It's kind of badass. You got to stop the welfare system.
I comment and tell the no-brainer that it's even KK. So he's stoked and he goes to tell him.
You combine it with CIA.
My boy just comes back defeated and goes, dude, he just said, oh, thanks, brother. And then, so that means $1,000. I was so fucking embarrassed. I apologize profusely and took 20 out of my own tips. I came home that night, put on my apron, and hit the fryers. I've been here ever since.
So that's the thing you find out.
Dang, I mean, I don't know. That's
it.
It's a great story, but I'm not sure if I believe that either.
If two people call you a crackhead, you might be smoking crack. Shut up,
It wouldn't shock me if he's like that, but and also some of the lines sound like some things that things are but do we know that somebody worked in the comedy club we'd have heard
Tell people that they can't spend their money on what they want. What's welfare money? You buy lobster again? And they get just like that list you showed me of emotional buttons to try to push. And people did believe in Maha. Now, the Ferris case, well, he learned there's a biggest like American health and anti-Semitism. Not the fluoride thing, which I don't believe it turns out is real.
She says he did tip half $2 for a coffee. Which is no
That's not already crazy because DA.
Walk in there and I want to be on the phone talking to somebody. Oh, now that I say it out loud, it makes sense. I thought he was saying huge, like a big hole. And when people they're just yelling,
Florida in the water.
I'm gonna start doing that at my coffee shop. Granted, she says you never complain about time if they were busy. You just sit and wait as a
No
talk.
idea. It might be something else.
Let's say 5 days to drive off in the hallways of the truck last month. Music copyright.
There's no reason for water. And yet there's still people that
So that sounds a lot more believable, I guess.
crazy
Okay, well, it's got 56 episodes. The other one has hundreds. So,
Shut the fuck up.
They're all
Check where the money comes
I
from.
enjoy the stories. It's funny to live in a world where you talk about different things that shot 10 years ago.
That's right. So, what do they make all their money off of poor people spending welfare on
Just
soda?
blaring the congregation because there's two reasons. One, he's a loud idiot, and so he
most of their
can't help
budget,
that.
just like
And
what
two
people
is
run in a
you
prison
have
full of
the
convicts.
stories that are definitely
Or
true.
from people spend their
Hey,
snap
I'm for
benefits
the
on
job.
soda that
Oh, I'm
comes
just
out.
gonna
And they don't
call.
want to lose that income.
Wants
It's like,
everyone
well,
to
they also
know.
really
is
recognize
that your takeaway?
Yes.
Well, here's the thing. He does things
different commissions
you know,
decide.
he's not only getting coffee.
Like American Heart Association gets funded.
So
So
because
it's company.
so many
You
people
just gotta
work
buy it. That's why-
Yo,
So is that true?
hello, Rabbi. What up?
My friend.
Excellent, good work. What's up, pimp? How you living?
I'm good, bro. I like your shirt.
Excellent, I appreciate it. It's merchandise from $100 million cryptocurrency. What's good in your neck of the woods?
Nothing much, man. I just got my WorldCoin shirt on. Just wanted to mention crypto.
Oh,
Got
tight.
my WorldCoin shirt on.
Very well.
Done it by Sam Altman.
Yeah, absolutely. How long have you been in crypto?
Since birth, man. Like, I was into it before it existed, to be honest.
As was I. Yeah, it was like me, crypto, and then the Big Bang.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember you. That was tight. You were cool. You were wearing,
Me?
yeah, you were wearing motherfucker here before the Big Bang, and you were just chilling. That was tight. Yeah, dog, I know. All right, what else is good in your neck of the woods?
We're kind of gods.
I mean, I've always kind of considered myself to be pretty sick. All right, so what's good in your neck of the woods aside from wearing crypto gear?
I got some pants on.
All right, well, enough about your fucking uniform. What do you got going on in your life? You sling your dick like it's going out of style?
Shit, bro. I don't want to talk about my life. I want to talk about your life.
All right, I'm always good for that. You ready for it?
Yeah, what's going on in your neighborhood, man?
Slinging dick like it's going out of style. Jason, you mind if I tell him my spiel?
Give him the spiel.
Excellent. I'm Rabbi Rothschild. I stream my life 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year for world peace. I've been doing so since the pandemic. More than 3.5 years. We've seen the death of a queen, the birth of AI, the coronation of a king, and everything in between. If I may ask, Grant, have you ever seen the movie The Truman Show or the television show Big Brother?
No, but I'm aware of both of them.
All right, essentially, it's just someone whose entire life is on camera. If you didn't know, The Economist magazine stated in 2018 that data had overtaken petroleum as Earth's #1 resource, more valuable than food, water, gold, and petroleum. And I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever, which may make me an influential person someday. And when that happens, Grant, I'm going to make you, I'm going to make my man Jason, I'm going to make your friends, your family, all independently wealthy if you're not already. I'm going to make sure that you have generational wealth of your own. How does that sound?
It sounds good, but
Fuck yeah, it sounds good. All right, well, you're in for the ride. Well, as I just said, data is Earth's #1 resource, and I have more data archived on the internet than any person ever. So instead of wearing a cryptocurrency that's worth $1 million or $100 million, I could wear just like a NASCAR driver or an F1 driver, a get up that has all kinds of brands on it, and get $1 billion for each page, especially as an influencer. But I influence in many different ways, including always being live. No other influencer does that. I'll be the most famous person on earth. Additionally, I talk about things to improve the world, like ending world hunger through the use of technology such as agricultural drones, floating greenhouses, saltwater greenhouses, hydroponics, vertical farming, cloud seeding. We want to help end world thirst through the use of technology as well. Sponsored by a cryptocurrency that's worth about $100 million. One of the things that we do is we build wells in developing nations like Nigeria for the less fortunate. I want to continue with those types of projects. I'm an advocate for the Lifestyle program, and most importantly, desalination technology, where we pump it onto land and make it drinkable. How does that sound to you, Grant?
I don't know, man. That was a lot to take in.
Yeah, I'm a lot to take in, big dog. I talk about futurism. I'm a futurist. I talk about things like anti-gravity, antimatter, faster than light travel, faster than light communication, artificial narrow intelligence, artificial general intelligence, artificial superintelligence. I talk about Santa Claus machines, replicators. I talk about inner space colonies, space elevators, space tourism, terraforming of other planets. I talk about things like nuclear fission, nuclear fusion. I talk about things like geothermal power, tidal power, solar power. I talk about things like even gravity batteries, de-extinction. People don't know this, but the first successful de-extinction took place in the year 2003 with the Pyrenean ibex, which was a goat located in northern Spain, southern France. Fast forward to the year 2021. A company out of Dallas, Texas has founded known as Colossal Bioscientific. They've made it their goal that within the next 3 years, or by the year 2028, to reintroduce the woolly mammoth into the Arctic Circle utilizing Asian elephant surrogates. I think this is a mind-blowing goal. Following the reintroduction of the woolly mammoth, they want to reintroduce the Tasmanian tiger, followed by the dodo bird. I think this is just a really exciting opportunity to be able to. When you were born, Grant, the average life expectancy for you or someone like you is probably about age 80. I want to increase your life expectancy to age 100, 120 through the use of technologies such as oxygen therapy, human growth hormone, stem cells, cryogenics, things like nootropics, peptides, cold shock therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, red light therapy, perhaps ambrosia therapy to get you to be 120 years old. But then at 120 years old, you may say, Rabbi, back in 2025, everything that you said seemed like it was a fantasy, but it all came true. But my body's starting to break down. What's the next plan? And this is, again, with your consent. If you want, you should be able to have this choice. But if you want to take advantage of it, you might be able to utilize a type of technology known as mind uploading technology, where, with your consent, we scan your brain into a computer like a CAT scanner and MRI, knowing where every atom is in your central nervous system, your peripheral nervous system, for later download as an android, an avatar, a cyborg, a cybernetic being, a clone of yourself, a robot, an ethereal being, whatever you want to be. But essentially, what I'm saying to you, Grant, is that you may have a future of digital immortality. What are your thoughts? What'd you say, Big Doug?
I said it sounds pretty good to me, Rabbi.
Fuck yeah, it does. Alright, so that's what I do. You can literally watch just about every moment of every day for the last 4 years, going back to the pandemic. On my streams, I'm live on 22 different YouTube streams simultaneously. If you look in the upper left corner of this Discord, you see a red circle that says 24/7 YouTube streams. If you put that link into Google or a browser that you've ever seen, you can watch my life in 360 degrees, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Additionally, I have over 100 other YouTube channels, over 200 Instagram accounts, over 500 Twitch accounts, over 1,000 TikTok accounts, over 2,000 Twitter accounts, over 5,000 Blue Sky accounts, and over 10,000 Kick accounts. I have more social media than anybody in global history. How's that sound?
How do you make so many?
Because how do I do it? Just manually? Just create the account?
You didn't even program something up? That's a lot. How do you know so much about so many different things, man? There's a lot of things to know.
Absolutely. I'm a certified project management professional. I've launched apps on the App Store and Google Play that have allowed me some financial independence, and so that's given me the ability to become a master of many trades.
What's your biggest app?
So I can't reveal those. But they're very big.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Household names in...
Bigger than Flappy Bird?
Oh, yeah. Household names in some major cities in the United States.
Okay. Damn, dude.
Weird.
What's your favorite author?
That's a good question. Maybe if we're talking like non-religious and things like that, Philip K. Dick.
Yeah, non-religious. Who?
Philip K. Dick, who do Android's Dream. The name's escaping me, but he wrote Man in the High Castle. But that have been made into movies. K. Dick books. So yeah, you might. Okay, so The Android's Dream of Electric Sheep, Man in the High Castle, Ubik, A Scanner Darkly, that was a movie. Flow My Tears, the policeman said. It's a strange alternative history where the Nazis and the Japanese won World War II, and so the United States has been taken over, and the West Coast belongs to Japan, and the Midwest and the East Coast belongs to Germany. Valis, Radio Free Adamant, The Penultimate Truth, The Collected Stories of Philip K. Dick. He's written others too. Let's see. Just really interesting. I mean, aside from him, more mainstream authors that I like, Mark Twain. I like Charles Dickens. I like Fyodor Dostoevsky. I like Jane Austen. I like. Let's see here. So I know he read.
You're like a Jane Eyre fan?
Jane Eyre, like the Victorian era.
Yeah, with my Sherlock Holmes.
I'm not familiar with it, perhaps.
Jane Eyre.
do. He then gets, in some instances,
Okay, just one
the
moment,
ultras
because I may have
have
misspoken.
refused that the players leave.
What is that book that I just said?
Is then demanded to go and have a meeting with their head
Um,
ultra.
Blade Runner, written by
Yeah, so then this kid, and let's be fair, he's a kid in his
Blade
early
Runner.
20s.
Oh yeah, Blade Runner's released by. Hold on. It was written by Hampton Fletcher and David Peoples. Oh, but it's based on the book by Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? So yeah, like basically a lot of futuristic sci-fi novels, sci-fi movies have been based on his books, and I just think it's crazy that he did this in like the 1950s. Like he was onto something. There's another one. So the Born Identity, um, the book was written by Robert Ludlum, and that's pretty fascinating to me. You know who I didn't say, but I do want to include is Stephen King. I like Stephen King. I think he has written. What up, baby?
We should get the stocks together.
All right, well, it's not hard to do. But, and I'll tell you what stocks will be worth a lot in 10 years and 100 years. In 10 years and 100 years.
The names.
All right, so
He's a fucking loser. They like to do that. They don't fucking smack you in the face. Like, this is
Just
their
one
soul preparing in front of the world. And for you, some fat guy chewing Adderall and typing into a MacBook Air, fuck you. That guy will smack you in the fucking
I want to
face.
check his stock
Terrifying
price
human being,
first.
trying his best. And you have to describe it that way. It's a different thing than someone who doesn't hit free throws. It's a different thing.
Are you in the stocks at all yourself?
Yeah.
I think it was Curtis Williams. It was someone like that. So it may not have been Curtis, but it was someone of that ilk. It wasn't a heavyweight, it was a middleweight champion, but he wasn't European or world, but it was a British middleweight champion. Which is
I think a good investment currently that people are somewhat sleeping on is Palantir. So that's the Peter Thiel company. If you're not familiar with what that is, they're basically building all the data of the world on individuals. So Palantir.
Yeah.
So I think that's an excellent investment. OpenAI, when it has its IPO, I think will be the biggest IPO perhaps in global history. So that would be a huge one. And then Tesla would certainly be an excellent investment. Those are great for the next 10 years. But if you're looking for the next 100 years, so if you know what Skynet is, like Terminator kind of idea, the Skynet's going to be built on some different systems, and I believe that it's going to be powered by nuclear powered by Siemens, the German company. So I would invest in them. I would invest in Siemens, SIEMENS. I would invest, so it's going to be powered by Siemens. The actual hardware, I believe, is going to be Samsung. So I would invest in Samsung. The operating system is going to be Microsoft. So Microsoft will be an excellent investment. The data is going to be the cloud-based system is going to be Amazon. So Amazon would be an excellent investment, and the data will be managed by Salesforce. So those 5 companies I think would be excellent investments for them. They're excellent long-term investments. Another excellent long-term investment because they're going to launch a web browser that's going to break Google's monopoly on browsers, and eventually they will take market share in the browser. The European Union has said to Google, look, you guys have a monopoly on everything. You have the top 2 websites in the world, which are Google and YouTube. You have market share, dominant market share on the browser that everyone uses, Google Chrome, and you're the number one ad company in the world with Google AdSense. So you can't have all of these monopolies. So you're going to have to get rid of something, and they're going to get rid of their browser. Not get rid of it, but it's going to lose its market share. And OpenAI, once they launch their browser, it'll be integrated with AI, and it'll be very good. And OpenAI will eventually be the dominant browser.
You think we'll get an AI system?
What'd you say, Big Dog?
I said, do you think we'll get an AI operating system?
Well, I mean, we already have that to some extent with Microsoft with Copilot and Google with Gemini. And
Yeah, I mean, like an operating system, like the operating system is like built around AI. You know, like we're not using like these like legacy like Windows or Mac or Linux. That kind of like had assumptions, like outdated assumptions. Like
yeah,
it's an operating system built
you're just
for and around.
yeah, that's what,
it's like integral.
I get what you're saying. You're seeing the primitive versions of it right now. So Windows, Microsoft will improve Copilot so that it's fully integrated in every aspect of it. They're doing that now. Google, the same with Gemini, Apple Intelligence. So the entire operating system will eventually be quote unquote AI. It's just not really being utilized that well right now. It's learning. It's early. But give it time, and AI will be seamlessly integrated into your operating system as well.
The strongest available protection from post-quantum threat.
Yeah, I feel like sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you.
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
All your data is still being handled by your internet provider.
How you still build, bro? You work out?
Oh yeah, baby. Well, no. I'm just joking. No, I mean, I live stream my life. So that's really my primary focus. But prior to this, at times of my life, I've been a long distance runner. I'm an avid golfer. I like sports a lot, but one of the first things that I do when I go viral is I have to go on a major day, and that's fine.
Right, so I'm actually curious about this. This is one thing I was going to ask earlier. So how do you record when you go out?
Yeah. So, as a Goshen, as far east as the desert and mountains, I've streamed in Beverly Hills, in Los Angeles, and Disneyland, basically everywhere in Southern California. And to answer your question, it's really difficult. So at times I've had a Verizon, like a family plan just for myself. So that's 4 different phones and 4 different phone lines monthly. But that's it's a big bill. It's like hundreds of dollars a month to do that. And I just really wasn't getting that much traction when I would do IRL streaming. It's really difficult to do IRL streaming, and frankly, my vision isn't that great. So that the glare of the phone makes it very difficult to be able to see when the sun's really bright and you're trying to read comments and they're few and far between. So I find it much easier to stream from one location, just because that's where my Wi-Fi is. Now, if I do stream outside, I can use GoPros and basically just upload the data if I need to. Or I stream like on Instagram. I just do Instagram lives and stream those. I've also done it on TikTok. But TikTok doesn't necessarily save the data the way that I would like it to. It's more manual. It's more manual to have to be able to save it. YouTube, you have to have a certain amount of followers to be able to live stream. So, and I do. You have to have like 1,000 followers or something. On Instagram, you have to have 1,000 followers. Instagram just made it that you have to have 1,000 followers. Um, uh, TikTok, you have to have 1,000 followers. So long as you meet those thresholds, you're able to just upload. On Rumble, you can, or I should say, you're not just able to upload. You're able to go live. Rumble, you don't have to have any followers. You can start going live so long as your account gets verified just through phone verification. Twitter, you can go live with no one following you. You can also create, if you have an iOS device, a Twitter live or a Twitter video space where people can actually talk with you. Um, so it just depends, but frankly, like when I do live streams, I don't really want to be. I don't really pay attention to what I want to pay attention to, which is my Discord. This is where people are. So if I go live on my Instagram accounts, I might have I have 10,000 people following me on Instagram, and I might get like 5 people who come in over the course of an hour. It's really not that great. Same with Twitch. I have 50,000 people following me, and if I go live on that account, I might get 5 people over the course of an hour. That's just how social media is. Unless you're, the top 1% of social media influencers who have consistent, huge followings that you basically have paid for, you're not going to get anybody in your chat, or very few people. So it's just not worth it to me. But I have done it, and I do have a lot of footage from there that's been archived. But you run into issues with connectivity. You run into issues with batteries. You run into issues with lighting. You run into issues with other people who try to steal your shit. You've got to really be aware of what's going on, and it's risky. It's much riskier. I mean, I know I've been in downtown LA and been chased by people because I've got like $2,000 worth of fucking equipment. I've got like 3 iPhones going, lighting. Exactly. So those are things that you want to avoid. I know I was outside the Capitol Records building with a bunch of GoPros, and I was playing the guitar, just not like busking. I wasn't doing it for money or anything. I was doing it just to have a cool shot. And I had these 4 guys who walked by me once and like said some shit to me, and then they walked by me again. Once we come back, we'll get them next time. I'm like, oh shit, I better get out of here. It just, when you're a single individual, you are a target, especially with all the electronic equipment. So it's just safer.
Come on, Rabbi, that's why you gotta keep a strap on you at all times so you can slam those people out.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4-on-1, and at least in California.
Like a 9mm, I mean, you can slam those fuckers out real quick.
Yeah, I mean, try getting a concealed carry in California. It's very difficult.
There it is. Everybody else does it legally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody either. And
what if they're trying to hurt you, Rabbi? We can't afford that.
Right, no, you're right. So why even put myself into that kind of position? What a black guy, pimp. Black, can you hear me? Black, can you speak English? Can you hear me? Big Dog, you there? Black, are you there? Can you hear me, big man? Black, how'd you find out about me? How's your day going, my friend? Yeah, I hope you're having a good day. Go pound sand. Yeah, shit happens. I'll check.
I told you, I'll be joining frequently.
That's great. How many people join a day? It's a good question.
If you had an estimate,
Yeah, so I let's just say recently, I get maybe 100 people a month, more than that, maybe 100. Yeah, about 100 stay. I might get 300 who join a month, but I kick out a lot of people. I kick out everybody who's under 21, under 18. So you're not supposed to be here and not be 18. And if I talk to them and they don't talk, like if I ask them how old they are and they just leave, then that's a pretty good sign that they're not 18. So I kick those people out. And then people leave on their own because you can only have a certain number of uh, uh, discords. You can only have 100 discords, and sometimes people max those out. So in answer to your question, per day now, well, it's about people who stay. Because like if they come and go, I mean, if you want to know come and go, maybe in a day I might get 20 come and go in a day. That's a little high. Maybe 15 will come and go in a day, and like maybe 5 or 10 of them will stay, and that's great for me. I mean, I don't know. Do you guys have Discords?
Because they will develop better and stronger.
oh, you mean like servers?
Yeah. Do you have servers?
Oh, I don't.
Yeah, they're in,
I do, but like.
and no one joined, and no one joined, right? Incredibly difficult to manage and to grow. They're so hard to grow. I would never think that they would be, but you're not. So you can't really use that platform that well to promote yourself. And I mean, just imagining, not everybody has Discord. In fact, most people on the internet have never heard of Discord. When's the last time you heard about Discord? Follow us, NBC Nightly News. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Discord. They never say Discord. It's a smaller social media, and it's not really that well. It's smaller. It's really not that well known. So, and not a lot of people use it. And then on top of that, Discord makes it very difficult to network. You can only have 1,000 friends on Discord. Now most people be like, well, I don't need that many friends, But there are some of us, and I'm included in this, who get like maybe dozens of friend requests a day. And so I'm limited in who I can accept as a friend and not. And then on top of that, you don't have the same ability to like see who's following whom and all the other things that happen on social media. They really keep it very privatized. And just having a Discord in itself it's so difficult. To ask someone from Twitter to come join my Discord and they don't know me is so hard. But they do it. So I'm really proud, of the 2,200 people or so that we have in here. It's been an uphill climb. I mean, I haven't had the Discord the whole time I've been streaming. It's only about a year and a half old. So I wish I started it when I first started streaming, but live and learn. It's 2,200, something like that. Let me check the exact numbers. 2,000. That's okay. 2,196. So like today we've grown by like 6 people or so. Today have stayed, and that's great. Like that person who just came and left, that happens. Now there's also a strategy that I use that I only started doing it recently, and I haven't really. You try a lot of things to see what works. So there are some really big servers. I mean, really big, with like 6 million people. And there's like this game that was launched in May called Steal a Brain Rot, which is something like Roblox or something. And one of the things that you can do is trade something in this game. I don't know. I don't play it. I don't know anything about it. But I do know it's a very big server. So if I put one of my accounts in that server, I'll get in a given day like 50 people who message me for whatever reason. But a lot of times it's in Portuguese, and I don't know Portuguese. I barely any Portuguese. So I will just send them invites that say, if you're an adult, please join this server. And from that, when that gets going, I get like 25 people a day. So it depends on how I market myself. But then a lot of the people who come in here, they aren't, they're not just not 18. They're not even 13. You get some people in here, it's like, where are your parents? You should not be having a computer. And so all those people get banned. But then you get some people who come in here and they're like, yeah, I'm 22, 25, whatever. And that's cool. But, you know, I wish there were a setting that you could just click it and then just not have that. I don't like kids. I do. I think that they're our future. But a lot of times people come in here and ask me about love advice, or they want to talk about history. Like maybe some of these conversations aren't for children. And I get people who come in here and just use language that is not for children's ears, generally. So,
What?
yeah.
I'm curious, what love advice do you have to offer, Rabbi?
Oh, tons. I get people in here every day.
Give me the spiel. Give me the spiel.
Well, okay. I mean, what do you?
Well, fuck buddies never really. Don't give me kids, and if it does, give me bastard child. To long term.
Okay, excellent. I've utilized this strategy before. I started streaming, and I had a normal job, working in tech. I used this strategy to actually be able to date sociologists from Tinder. Not girls on Tinder, actually women who work for Match.com who are sociologists. So I know that this works. And it works better than it's like it makes you the most wanted person on all of Twitter. Now, at that time, I basically was able to use some like jailbroken phones or what do I want to call it? Rooted phones, Android phones, to be able to hack Twitter or hack Tinder. Pardon me. So they've fixed some of these patches, but basically, if you want to just do it the old-fashioned way, you download the apps. You download Tinder, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, Match.com if you want, or Twitter, but the free ones are Twitter, Bumble, Plenty of Fish, OK Cupid, and there's another one that's escaping me, but those are fine. Those four are fine. Hold on, I'll think of it. Let me say anything. No, Tinder, Plenty of Fish, and OK Cupid. And you put on there what you want. Do you want just a fling, or you say, I'm looking for a serious relationship that may result in marriage. I want to have children. I am a professional. I enjoy water skiing and surfing and playing golf and running and cooking. And you take 5 really good pics of yourself, and not just random selfies. They should be recent. They should be very clear quality. If you need a friend or a professional photographer to take these, you should invest in it, but you can do it yourself with just the timer on your phone. You want to make sure the lighting's really good. You want to take a picture of you outside, at least one, doing an active activity. So like surfing's great, or golf is great, running's great. If they want to see that you're active doing something, they want to see you in your home. They want to see what it's like where they may live someday. So a picture there is fine. They want to see you perhaps doing another hobby or with friends. They want to see that you have a social life. They want to see you. This is a good one. It is with an animal. even if you don't have an animal, a dog, cat, or whatever, go ask somebody, hey, can I take a picture with your dog? They want to see that you're an animal person. It shows that you're a good cuddle. And then finally, just one of you relaxing, basically. Like if you get those 5 photos, it doesn't have to be that, but those are really good pictures to have. A great headshot is great in there as well. Uh, but if you have those pictures and they're not overwhelming, it's not all you with your friends, or it's not all you doing one activity. I mean, that shows that you're a really well-rounded person. And then it's a numbers game. So, and I told this to the girl who I dated from Match.com, because she told me, like, behind the scenes, every person gets a score of how many people are like swiping right on them, and my numbers were higher than they've ever seen, and she wanted to know how I did it. And basically, I explained to her that there was a way you could basically root an Android device, and then somebody had created a patch on the basically created a back end into Tinder, and you could, with the push of one button, like 256 women at once anywhere in the world, which is a huge advantage on anybody. And so, where I'm in LA, I just put it where I wanted to date women, and then just would hit the button, and 256 likes and 256 likes. And I would just have to do that like 5 times, like maybe even less than maybe 4 times a day. And then I just watched my phone just ching, 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 all these girls swipe right. And then from there, it was just about messaging them. And, the, the girls who I liked, I mean, they're all gorgeous. 10s. They're all 10s. Like, I would say to myself, I'm not going to waste any time on anybody who I don't think is, who every single one of my friends would say that girl's the fucking hottest chick. Nothing, dude. My body count, I lose track at 42. So I mean, I've done quite well for myself. And so then from there, you you interact with the person, and some people they really want to get to know you before they go to dinner. Other chicks, they just want to get right down to business. That wait down. No, these were those for long term. But then I came up with a strategy for short term as well. I'll tell you that in a second. So a few years went by, and I was doing the long term thing. But then when I want to do short term, you can buy these on Amazon, but they're auto swipers, basically things that automatically touch something on your phone. But you can also download these as well. But it was basically something that would touch something on a phone, so it would always swipe right on chicks for me. And they have integrated their apps to no longer allow you to only swipe right. They'll ban you for that. But at the time, they didn't. So I just swipe right on every single chick and then see what girls would come into my inbox. All right. So then when I just would want to hook up with chicks, and like literally, this is the absolute best move I ever had. And by the way, like, I'm not just talking out of my ass. I'm a member of seduction communities. These are pickup artist layers around the United States. So what we do is we'll meet at somebody's location, have some drinks, and go out and basically sarge or go out as a group and pick up see who can get the most amount of numbers in a given night. So, I mean, these are things that I've done in the past. It's been a lot of fun. Shout out to those guys if they're watching this. They've been wonderful. And then it's just a competition. Who can get the most amount of numbers and who can have the most amount of closes. Anyway, so I do know that this advice works. But at least on Tinder and those kind of apps, the thing that I would say when I would just want to hook up with chicks, there was one phrase that I would use. Like, I tried them all. Like, hey, what are your interests and all that bullshit. Like, everybody does that, and I get responses with that. But if I just wanted to hook up with chicks, I would write, drop your digits to get jackhammered. And man, I got numbers like crazy that way.
Right? So they don't have any money in that. They probably have it all broken down, get on that check.
It's so fucking to the point.
I can see it.
It's so fucking to the point. It's like, who the fuck says jackhammer? Like, you mean you're just gonna pound me out? Fuck yeah, that's what you want. That's why you're on this fucking app. And I would get numbers like crazy. So anyway,
To be fair, is it easy in LA, like to stuff go out?
absolutely. Yeah, people don't beat around the bush. There are people who want long-term relationships, and that's cool. And there are other apps that I use for that, but they're really Jewish apps. So I mean, they're different kind of apps. But you know, we have J Swipe and well, they're for Jewish people.
Oh, that's literally for okay.
Yeah, just like I think there's like Farmers Only and Christian Mingle. Those are for other people. We have J Swipe and J Date and Salyut Sinai. Those are the big three. So those are different.
Like, what if I'm not a Jew? Like, what if I want to date a Jew? Can I use it?
Yeah, generally you have to put your stuff in there, and usually Jews just want to date Jews who are on those apps.
When you convert me, Rabbi?
I can't convert you. No single rabbi can. You have to sit before what's called a Beit Din, or House of Judgment. But I could guide you your local Orthodox rabbi who could put you in touch with the local Beit Din. That's about all I can do. That's about all any rabbi could do. Even the chief rabbi of Israel can't necessarily make someone a Jew. They have to sit before the Beit Din. So it's a panel of three rabbis. It's a panel of three rabbis, or Shomer Shabbat, Shomer Shabbat Jews, who you would change your lifestyle. You'd have to live within the community. You'd have to become basically Shomer Shabbat. So you'd attend service every Saturday and other times and holidays and such. You might have to change your work schedule to leave early on Friday. You'd have to keep kosher, so that's a whole element to it, and you have to keep family purity. So, I mean, if you're willing to do those kinds of things, there's no guarantee though. So, but you just
only mix with Jews.
That's the Orthodox
They
way.
became near. Okay. Yeah, it's Europe. That's right, Rabbi?
Correct.
Okay. Hey, wait, I just thought about that. 40 something, 42 Jews?
I've lost track.
See?
No, I'm serious. Like, sometimes before I go to bed, I sit and sleep before them. So, like, I think about, and that doesn't count. And that doesn't count chicks who have just blown me. I'm talking like that number is I would say gigantic, because there was a period in my life where I wouldn't have sex with chicks. I would just get blown. Well, because I was younger, and so like that wasn't something that like I didn't want to have sex with chicks. It was too young, but I get blown by a ton of chicks. So tons. I mean, I still think about it, and the number, that doesn't get included, but yeah, like I said, I lose track of 42. But for someone like you, all you have to do, it's really fucking easy. You get on the app, you take 5 good pictures, you write a good profile of yourself, and then you just play the game with the chick in the chat. And you've got to understand, a good-looking girl.
What do you say?
Well, okay, so
it's different from the pictures, the nice profile, all that, like, sure. But it's like spontaneously answering some, super flirty text. That's kind of one of those things where it's like,
Dog, it's a numbers game. So you have to understand, like, if you've ever seen a hot chick's phone, these girls would show me their phones of Tinder, and it's just like guy after guy after guy after guy after guy. Like, and I did the same with Tinder myself. I had girl after girl after girl. I even said I felt like I beat Tinder, like if it were a game. Like, I had every single girl you could think of in Southern California in my inbox, and you just recognize it's a numbers game. So you just go and you find the hottest chicks who you've matched with, not just any chick. And then if you're looking for a relationship, you say, I mean, like, it depends. If you're the one who's initiating, which is a good thing to do, you just, you can ask, what are your interests? Or are you interested in dinner? Or are you interested in going to the beach, or are you interested in playing golf, or do you? I see you have a dog. What's its name? Like, you just want to make some kind of like small talk with them to get them a little comfortable with you, and then they're in your inbox, and then you can start going at it and making plans. And I don't recommend, like, there are some dates that I don't recommend at first. So one of the worst dates you can go on.
That's a good question. What are the best types of dates?
Yeah, so getting drinks is a really solid one because that doesn't put too much emphasis. If you don't like each other, you can just have a drink and leave. You don't have to sit down at dinner and spend hundreds of dollars on this chick. Getting coffee is fine if you want to do a date, just to go have coffee and meet each other. Those are two solid ones. Having dinner with a girl is fine though as well. Um, those are the kind of the traditional ones I would say. Drinks, dinner, and coffee. Um, the ones that you definitely want to avoid are movies. That's because you can't talk, you can't get to know each other during them. That's a perfect second date. So movies are really good second dates. Other things that I enjoy, just going to a park, going to a walk. Those are fine. Um, Anything that's public and not too intimidating. So, but the key is public. For a first date, you want to make sure it's public, and that's really for your safety, but also the girl's safety. She's not going to want to go to your house or something like that if she's not looking to just crack. She wants to make sure that it's a safe environment and that really it's a test. Are you socially acceptable not just to her, but does she like being around you? Does she like the way you two look together? She wants to see how you order. She wants to see if you take initiative. She wants to see how assertive you are. She wants to see if you're going to hold the door for her. She wants to see if you're going to pay. She wants to see what kind of watch you have, what kind of how you dress, and what kind of shoes you wear. These are all things she's going to be judging you on, and the same thing you're going to be judging her on. How her hair is, how her face is, what kind of makeup she wears, what kind of conversation she has. Those kind of things are just things that people do. But you want to make sure that's done in a place where you can talk. That's why coffee. Getting drinks is a fine place to do it. When I say getting drinks, not necessarily a dance club. That's really, it can be okay, but it's really loud. You want to be able to get to know each other. Dance club is great for a third date, I would say. It doesn't have to be, but like that's when you're cracking. I mean, really, the old adage is this is pretty conservative nowadays to say, but because people just fuck on the first date. So really, first date is get to know each other. Second date is get comfortable with each other, and third date is when you're going to have sex with the person. And if it doesn't happen after the third date, doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but the odds decrease quickly thereafter because it's like, okay, how much time are you going to spend with this person? Unless you're with the person who is waiting for marriage, or which is totally fine, or they're very conservative, or they just got out of a relationship, or whatever.
What do you think about that, man? Like, waiting until marriage? Like, I don't even know. Like, what do you think about that? Like, if a girl tells me on the first date, like, yeah, I'm waiting until marriage, like, what would you say?
That's absolutely fine. That's great. Wonderful. That's ideal. If a girl is a virgin, then that's how people generally live for thousands of years. So you ask her, okay, I mean, basically once you get to know her, so does that mean like I have a friend of mine he's I was in his wedding, and he married a virgin who was 36 years old. She was a 36-year-old virgin, which is pretty old. Very religious person, and she had some ground rules, which were basically like she would kiss, but that's it, and that's fine. So you want to get to understand how comfortable someone is with someone. I mean, I've been with girls who say they're waiting for marriage. Okay, but they'll blow you on the first night. So it's like, okay, I mean, whatever floats your boat. You want to see how comfortable they get. There are some girls who might. It's rare, but they may be against vaginal intercourse, but they're open to anal. How conservative they're going to be. That's an exception. Usually, insertion generally means that if a girl have anal sex with you, pretty soon thereafter she'll have vaginal sex with you. But it doesn't necessarily mean that way. Some women are just gonna have their own rules, play by those rules. So, so if a girl says, "I'm waiting till marriage," excellent. That's wonderful to hear. You wouldn't want to pry that in the first date or the second necessarily, but going into the third day, you can, see if she's. I mean, I would just ask her. All right, well, that like it depends on the culture. Like in some communities within Judaism, we don't touch before marriage. And if someone is living that life, I'm fine with that. But then there are other girls who grew up that way, but now they've become more liberal. It just depends on how what a person's standards are. But if you have someone who says, "I don't have sex before marriage," okay, well, does that mean that we can't hold hands? No, no, we can hold hands. Okay, so you hold her hand. Does that mean that we can't kiss? No, no, we can kiss. So you can kiss her. I've had girls who would make out, but would not, unless we were in a relationship, would not let me feel them up. So they wouldn't, or finger them, or finger them. Yeah, there are some girls. It just depends on their their comfort level. I've had girls who, especially it seems like girls who have really huge tits. Um, if they are not, if you're not in a relationship with someone, they do not want. They know that that's like a prize. So hey, you want to get in a relationship? Then I'll take my shirt off, or you can feel me up. But until then, it's just make out city. Okay, that's fine. I mean, whatever your comfort level is. But it's about comfort. You don't ever want to put any undue pressure on a person, and you want to make sure that she feels comfortable with you. So you communicate. These are really important things. A girl who says to you, "I want to wait till marriage," it's absolutely fine. Does that mean I can hold your hand? If she says no, then you respect that and you see if that's what you want to do. And but usually in those types of relationships, and I've known a lot of people in those relationships, they get married very quickly. They don't screw around for 2 or 3 years that way. Absolutely not. You just need a ring and a date. Okay, I like you, you like me. Our parents approve of this, and a hall, basically, like a ring, a date, and a hall.